70 years ago, some areas of Myanmar were so remote that they were considered to be among the best places for tigers in the whole world. Now, tiger populations have declined a lot in Myanmar. So now what we're left is a series of protected areas that have very, very small populations of tigers. And the task is how to recover those populations.
Fauna and Flora International has been working in Myanmar for about 7 or 8 years now, and in Tanintharyi for about 3. Our programme down here is really to promote the conservation of globally important habitat and species. So the project has 3 objectives. First one is the protection of habitat, which is obviously of key importance for tiger. Second objective is to establish basically a baseline understanding of what the tiger and prey populations are. And then the third objective is to engage with the communities around the tiger or within the tiger landscape to actually improve the livelihoods. And this is the last remaining bit of intact forest between the border forests along the Thai-Myanmar border and the coast. And this forest corridor in theory is protected under the District Forest Management Plan. But in practice it seems that there's not much protection occurring. And once this is planted, of course, it will be oil palm plantation, and that's lost. The policy of self-sufficiency in edible oils was instigated at a time when there were trade embargoes and Myanmar was suffering a significant trade deficit for that reason. The government at the time chose to promote the land in Tanintharyi for production of palm oil. Now, the landscape here is not 100% suitable for the crop. Much of the area is too steep or too dry. So mistakes have been made with the location of the plantations and with how the concessions were awarded and how clearance of lands that maybe were occupied or used by existing populations have led to social conflict. The conflict is ongoing. Expansion is continuing. Recent Landsat data has shown where some concessions have expanded since last year. So I think it's time for the new government to conduct an audit basically of what's happened so far, maybe a moratorium on expansion until they can get a handle on where the mistakes are. Our approach is to try and engage with the palm oil sector and to identify those that want to be sort of champions of sustainable, environmentally and socially responsible palm oil development. I think there's an opportunity now with a strong democratic mandate for the new government. Sort of take a review of let's say, possibly some mistakes that have been made in the past by a former government, and to look sort of more progressively towards what a sustainable, socially and environmentally sustainable future for Myanmar might be. And we're ready to engage with them on that process. Because ultimately, what few tigers remain here, and obviously we don't know exactly how many there are, the chance to protect them is diminishing by the day, and so if action is not taken now, then it'll be a moot point really in 5 to 10 years' time. How's the best way to do it, because there won't be any.
We need to zoom out. We can't just focus on individual, single protected areas, nature reserves or national parks. We need to make sure that buffer zones, that corridors are effective in connecting up the different pockets of remaining intact habitat.